Hi everyone, still on the topic of marriage. Okay, today I want to answer the question, should a man cook in marriage? Okay, so we know that there has been a lot of back and forth about men cooking or men doing house chores or stuff like that in marriage. Okay, so today let's see if we can just like dissect this out once and for all, establish what is necessary, and we can move on to better things in life, right? Okay, so should a man cook in marriage? I'm going to answer that now. First of all, I'm going to take you through some Bible characters that we are already very familiar with. In person of Jacob. Yes, we know that Jacob cooks, right? This food he used to buy birthright from Esau, he actually prepared it. Okay, so you're going to see the scripture on your screen right now. Okay, so we also know that Esau also can cook. How did we know that? Because he cooked the food which he gave to his father in order that his father should bless him, right? Okay, so Jacob and Esau, they are male characters, and yes, obviously they can cook. Okay, that is established. However, I know that a lot of people are going to be like, well, this Jacob and Esau examples are people that were not married, and so we cannot use that to say that a man should cook in marriage. Okay, that's fair enough. However, I'm going to take you to another Bible character that was married and yet he was cooking. He was still cooking. Okay, so and that person is Abraham. Yes, Abraham cooked in Genesis chapter 18. Yeah, you're gonna find that there. Genesis 18 verse 8. You're gonna find out that Abraham actually cooked. He prepared the meat that he gave to the angels. Right? He delegated part of the cooking to Sarah, but he was one that prepared the meat that he gave to the angels that came visiting. Okay, so Abraham cooked. So a man cooking is not about the age, it's not about the marital status, obviously, because Abraham was married at this time. And as a matter of fact, Abraham was like, I think 100 years old at this time when he cooked. So okay, now, but someone is going to be thinking that fine, he cooked well, but this cooking was because it was the angels who was cooking for. Okay, he didn't cook for his wife or his family. So now I'm going to take you to another Bible character that actually cooked in the Bible, and he cooked for his bride, his wife. Okay, so let's look at that. Who could that be? That is the person of Jesus. You surprised? Yes, actually I was surprised too and excited at the same time when I saw this in scripture. So Jesus cooked for his bride. How did I know this? Okay, so let's go to the book of John chapter 21 verse 9. Okay, John chapter 21. At this time, Jesus just died and he had resurrected, but the disciples had not seen him, so they were still like downcasted and all of that. So, in short, some group of them were together, and Peter said, I'm going to fish. And the rest of them said, yeah, we'll go with you. So they went, and that was night. So they went all night and they were trying to fish, but they didn't catch any fish up until it was daybreak. No, there was no fish. They didn't catch any fish. So they walked all night. Bible said they talked all night. There was no fish. And then finally, uh, Jesus came into the picture, and they didn't know at first that it was Jesus. So Jesus came and said, "Do you have any? Did you catch any? Did you get any food?" And they said, "No, they didn't get any fish." So he now told them, "Cast your net to the right side of the boat, and you'll find some fish." And then they got so much fish, and they had to drag the net to shore. Now, on getting to the shore, they met coals of fire with fish on it and bread. Okay, and after a while, Jesus told them, come and eat breakfast. Yeah, so Jesus was actually cooking when they came to shore. So Jesus was cooking for them. There was coal there was fire, there was fish on it. Okay, so what do we call that? It's called cooking. Okay, so Jesus was actually cooking for the disciples, right? And then few verses after, then the Bible said Jesus told them, come and eat breakfast. Okay, so if they were able to eat the fish that was cooking, it means that the fish will have at least it will have salt. Okay, so when you put salt in on the fish and you put the fish on fire, what are you doing? You're actually roasting or what? Yeah, grilling, something like that, whatever it's called, cooking. So Jesus actually cooked. So why am I using just as an example, considering I'm talking about men cooking for women in marriage, or men cooking in the marriage? Okay, so I'm using this example because we are very familiar with the fact that Jesus, we are very familiar with the fact that Jesus is the bride of, Jesus is the bridegroom, and the church is the bride, right, of Christ. Okay, so in that, if that is true, then it means that Jesus just cooked for his wife in John chapter 21. Jesus cooked for his wife, meaning that uh you see, there's this scripture, Ephesians chapter 5. Ephesians chapter 5 verse okay, let me look at it. Okay, so Ephesians chapter 5, the Bible said, husbands, love your wives as just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for her. Okay, if you drop down to verse 27, it says that he might present her. Okay, let's drop down to verse 29. Verse 29 says, for no one, okay, let's start from 28. So husbands ought to love their own wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. For no one ever hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it, just as the Lord does the church. The husband the husband should nourish and cherish his wife, just as the Lord, that's Christ, does the church, love the church. So how did, now I'm trying to say that this particular book in John, this particular scripture in John chapter 21 that we just read, Jesus cooking for the disciples, actually mean that Jesus is cooking for his bride. Actually means that this is how Jesus showed love to the church, by nourishing and cherishing it, and that is how the Bible has said the husband should model after, right? Should model after Christ, nourishing and cherishing for his wife. So here, by the way, some scriptures, some Bible versions have it as feed and care for his wife, or feed and cherish his wife. So in this scripture, obviously we can see that Jesus actually fed, literally he fed his wife. Okay, and I can also say he literally cared for his wife. And why did I say so? Because you see, the Bible said that those disciples came, they toiled all night, and they didn't catch any fish. So if you look at it, it's almost as if your wife went for night duty and she came back tired, and the husband didn't wait for in person of Christ now, giving an analogy. The husband didn't wait for the wife to say, oh, how tired I am, what am I going to eat now, got back from work and I'm hungry and all that. No, he just took the initiative, right? And he felt that his wife is tired, he must be hungry, and then he decided that, okay, before the wife come, let me start the cooking, and she'll meet prepared meal. Okay, so that's actually cherishing, and that's actually caring for the wife, because that's what Jesus did actually. Because the disciples worked, they toiled all night. That means they were already tired, like the whole night they were working, trying to catch fish, doing all the energetic work trying to catch fish. Because if you're catching fish in those days and today would definitely not be the same, right? So even if there was a machine that could actually get fish in larger quantity today and at a reduced time, okay, in those days it won't be like that, right? So they were actually working, and so they worked all night, the Bible said. So in the morning, obviously they were tired. Jesus didn't even wait for them to say that. He just took the initiative and realized that these people, this bride of his, these disciples, that they were going to be hungry. By the way, there's this thing that men are like, maybe because of ego, or a lot of things actually come to place when for a man, if a man is actually not comfortable cooking for his wife or for his family. Okay, but one thing I can establish in this scripture is this: the Bible said that no servant is greater than his master. And so if Jesus Christ is actually the master, and we and every other human being we can relate that to the servant, then I don't think any other servant should have a problem cooking for his wife. Okay, if Jesus Christ, that is the master, is able to cook for his wife. Okay, so given established the Jesus Christ cooked for his wife, and so there's nothing wrong with a man cooking for his wife.